Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we reenact the Boston Tea Party, who would have thought that a 3% tax on tea would be the spark that ignited our Revolutionary War? King George didn't have the authority to tax the new colony, but after the Tea Act, which gave King George a monopoly, he charged less than the colonists were smuggling tea in from Holland in order to appease them. The colonists knew what his trick was, though, and 7,500 met in town hall meetings. They knew that the power to tax was the power to destroy. Nothing threatened their freedom more. So 200 dressed up, they went onto the ships and they dumped 45 tons of tea into the harbor in open defiance against King George. When news got back, King George III was so incensed, so angry, he loaded his warships. He had ordered them to make their way over and to attack the colonists. The penalty for throwing that tea in the water was death. But to the colonists, freedom is more important than life itself. And folks, that's the point where you should cheer, because freedom is more important than life itself. And if anything, how many lives have been laid down for the freedom we carry to stand here today? 35 tons of crates represented that 3% tax on tea. But the crates that we throw into the water today represent even more. Each crate represents an act that has the capacity to destroy the significant freedoms that we have fought so hard for and died for. So we are going to go about the business of dumping tea, and I need to have a really loud cheer to get them riled up and ready to go. Now let me put this in perspective, people. $78 billion of the taxpayers' money was gone into forced banks to take it, even if they didn't want it. Let me put another perspective. $1 billion. This is 78, but $1 billion. You could take 1,140 one-ton trucks to haul only $1 billion to the bank, but they did 78 of those. It's time that we threw that in the water. Cheer them on and let them dump the tea.
Man, wrong side.
Oh, by the way, have you heard about this in Washington? They decided they want to give us a stimulus package. Have you heard about that? What's really interesting about that stimulus is, I'm not sure you heard this, but did you understand that all those people we sent there, they forgot to read what was in the stimulus package? Maybe they should have done that before they decided they were going to put $1 trillion laid end to end that could reach 96 million miles and have us carry the burden. Let's dump that tarp tea. Let's dump that stimulus tea in there. Decided to do, and you can boo this one, they all decided they're going to go ahead and cut military spending to do all this. That's right, let's make those folks who are in the front lines fighting for our freedom day in and day out, let's make them suffer. That's what they thought, but we're tired of that. It's time to dump that in there. That is the wrong thing to do. Dump that tea. Now, this next one's going to get the folks in Washington we sent there a little irate, a little mad, a little upset. So you better look up and wave at the satellites, because they don't want to see this one going in the water. The next one is this. Remember that $410 billion omnibus? There were 9,000 pork earmarks in that thing.
Yeah, there was.
We're going to take those earmarks of that pork and we're going to dump it in Cold Lakes. We're sick of that. Let's not dump that tea. 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 Let's get dump that tea. Dump that tea. I'll tell you what's next. There was that huge budgetary issue of $650 billion on socialized medicine. Did you hear about that?